why you would not survive medieval London. Hey there! Tonight we are going to step back in time, way back, to the streets of medieval London sometime around the year 1300. But before we begin, maybe adjust your pillow, get comfortable, because where we are going, comfort does not exist. This is not a story about knights or castles or grand feasts. This is about survival, about trying to make it through a single day in a city that wants you dead, a city built on filth, a city that smells like death, a city where the streets are cesspools and the river is an open sewer. You will not survive medieval London, not because of war, not because of plague, though that is certainly a factor. You will not survive because the sheer, overwhelming filth of daily life will break you long before anything else gets the chance. So settle in, relax, because we are going to walk through this city together, slowly, very slowly. And by the time we are done, you will be grateful, deeply grateful, for the clean sheets beneath you and the warm room around you. Let's begin. Arriving in the city. You are standing at the edge of medieval London on a gray morning in late autumn. The year is 1312. The air is cold, damp, the kind of cold that seeps through cloth and settles into your bones. Before you even enter the city, you can smell it. The smell hits you from half a mile away. It is not one smell. It is a combination. A thick, layered assault on your senses that makes your stomach turn even from this distance. The first layer is smoke, wood smoke, peat smoke, coal smoke if you are unlucky. Every building in London is burning something for heat, for cooking, for light. Thousands of fires, tens of thousands. The smoke hangs over the city like a gray blanket, thick and acrid. But underneath the smoke there is something worse. Much worse. It is the smell of human waste, of animal waste, of garbage rotting in the streets, of the Thames River, which is not really a river anymore. It is a slow-moving sewer carrying the filth of 50,000 people out to the sea. You take a breath. The smell coats the back of your throat. You can taste it, bitter, rotten. You try breathing through your mouth, but that only makes it worse. Now you can taste it more clearly. You are not even inside the city yet. The road beneath your feet is mud, not the clean mud of a forest path. This is London mud. It is mixed with things you do not want to identify, animal droppings, human waste tossed from windows, vegetable scraps, the rotting carcass of a dog someone dragged to the side of the road and left there. The mud is thick, heavy. It sucks at your shoes with every step. Your shoes, by the way, are leather, thin leather. Already they are soaked through. The cold, wet filth is seeping through the stitching, touching your feet. You are wearing 2 layers of stockings. Wool, but wool does not stay dry. It absorbs moisture, so your stockings are damp and getting damper. With every step, the moisture spreads. Your toes are wet, cold. You can feel the grit between your toes, little particles of dirt and worse things ground into the wool. You keep walking, because what else can you do? You have come this far, you need to enter the city. You need to find work, find food, find shelter. So you walk step by step through the mud toward the smell. The city gate. Ahead of you is Ludgate, one of the 7 gates into the city. It is a stone archway, dark and narrow. The stones are stained, black with soot, green with moss. The arch is maybe 12 feet wide, just wide enough for a cart. There are people ahead of you, a line of them. Farmers bringing produce to market, merchants with carts of goods, beggars, pilgrims, everyone trying to enter the city. You join the line, and immediately you are surrounded by more smell. These people, the ones in line with you, they have not bathed in months, maybe longer. Bathing is not something people do in 1312. Water is dangerous. Everyone knows that. Water carries disease. Water opens the pores and lets sickness in. So people do not bathe. They wear the same clothes for weeks, months, until the fabric falls apart. The smell of unwashed bodies is overwhelming, sharp, sour, mixed with the smell of old sweat and the grease they rub into their skin to keep warm. The man in front of you is wearing a rough wool tunic, brown, or maybe it was brown once. Now it is just dark, stained with sweat and dirt and food. The back of his neck is visible above his collar. The skin is gray with grime. You can see the line where dirt has collected in the creases of his skin. He shifts his weight. You catch a stronger whiff. He smells like old cheese, like vinegar, like something rotting. You try to step back, but there is someone behind you. A woman. She is carrying a basket of fish. The fish are not fresh. You can tell because the smell is even worse than the man's neck. The fish are starting to turn. The flesh is soft. The eyes are cloudy. She bumps into you. You feel the dampness of her sleeve against your arm. The fabric is wet. You do not want to know why. The line moves forward, slowly. 1 step, 2 steps. You are getting closer to the gate. Above the arch there are heads. Human heads stuck on pikes. They have been there for weeks, maybe months. The flesh is gone, mostly. Just skulls with bits of dried skin clinging to them. Eye sockets empty, jaws hanging open. These are traitors, or thieves, or enemies of the king. It does not matter. They are here as a warning. This is what happens if you break the law. The birds have been at them. Ravens, crows. The skulls are cracked in places where the birds pecked through to get at the soft tissue inside. You look away, but everywhere you look there is something unpleasant. The mud, the people, the stained stones of the gate. You shuffle forward, the line moves. 1 step, 2 steps. Finally you reach the gate. You pass under the arch. The stone above you is close. Low, it blocks out the gray sky. For a moment you are in shadow. The smell is stronger here, concentrated. The arch traps the odors, holds them. You hold your breath, you walk quickly, and then you are through. You are inside medieval London. The first street. The street on the other side of the gate is narrow, very narrow. The buildings on either side lean toward each other. The upper floors jut out over the street, blocking most of the light. The street is a canyon of shadows. The buildings are made of wood and plaster. The wood is dark with age and smoke. The plaster is supposed to be white, but it is gray, stained, crumbling in places. The street is paved, technically. There are cobblestones, but you can barely see them. They are buried under a layer of filth, mud, waste, garbage. The cobblestones are uneven, some are missing. The ones that remain are slick, covered in a layer of slime. You take a step. Your foot slides, you catch yourself. The smell here is even worse than outside the gate, because here the buildings trap it. There is no wind, no movement of air. The smell just sits, heavy, thick. You look down, the street is full of things: a dead rat, swollen, its belly distended, a pile of vegetable scraps, rotting, turning to mush, a puddle of something dark. You do not look too closely. There are other people on the street. They walk around the filth, or through it. It does not seem to bother them. They are used to it. A woman walks past you. She is carrying a chamber pot. The pot is full. You can see the contents sloshing as she walks. She reaches a window, leans out, and dumps the pot into the street. The contents splash onto the cobblestones. Some of it splashes onto your leg. You feel the warmth through your hose, then the wetness, then the smell. You freeze. The woman does not apologize, does not even look at you. She just pulls the pot back inside and closes the shutter. You stand there, your leg is wet. You can feel it soaking through the wool, reaching your skin. It is warm, at first. Then it cools. and you are left standing in the street with someone else's waste on your leg. You want to clean it off, but how? There is no clean water here, no fountain, no well. Even if there were, the water would not be clean. It would be the same water everyone uses, for drinking, for cooking, for washing. And the Thames is not far. All the waste from all the chamber pots in all the houses eventually makes its way to the river, and the river water seeps into the wells. So you leave it, the waste on your leg. It will dry, eventually, and then it will just be another layer of filth on your already filthy clothes. You keep walking, because there is nothing else to do. The sound of the city. As you walk, you start to notice the sounds. Medieval London is not quiet, it is loud, very loud, but not in the way a modern city is loud. There are no engines, no horns, no mechanical sounds. The noise is organic, human, animal. People are shouting, vendors calling out their wares, fishmongers, pie sellers, women selling ale. They shout constantly, competing with each other, trying to be heard over the general din. A man passes you carrying a basket of eels, live eels. They writhe in the basket, slick and muscular. He shouts, "Eels, fresh eels, eels from the Thames." His voice is hoarse, strained. He has been shouting all morning. You wonder about the eels. The Thames is a sewer. Everyone knows this, but people still eat the eels because what choice do they have? Fish is cheap, and you need to eat. There are other sounds. The clatter of cart wheels on cobblestones, the squeal of pigs being driven through the streets. Pigs are everywhere in medieval London. They roam freely, eating garbage, rooting through the piles of waste. They are thin, feral. Their ribs show through their skin. One of the pigs trots past you. It is eating something. You do not want to know what. The pig's snout is covered in filth. Its eyes are small, mean. It does not even look at you, just keeps eating, grunting. Dogs bark constantly. They are as feral as the pigs, skinny, mangy. They fight over scraps in the street. You see two dogs tearing at something. A dead cat, maybe. They growl at each other, snapping. Their teeth are yellow, broken. Somewhere a baby is crying. The sound is thin, weak. It goes on and on. No one seems to notice. A church bell rings. The sound is heavy, dull. It echoes off the buildings. You count the tolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is the 9th hour, 3 in the afternoon. But the sky is already getting dark. The buildings block so much light that even at midday, the streets are dim. By 3 in the afternoon, it feels like evening. You keep walking. The sounds wash over you. Shouts, bells, animals, babies. It is relentless. There is no silence, not here, not in this city. The weight of your clothes. As you walk, you become aware of how heavy your clothes are. You are wearing multiple layers because it is cold, because everyone wears multiple layers in medieval London. First, there is your undershift, linen. It is supposed to be white, but it is gray. You have been wearing it for 3 weeks. You sleep in it, you work in it, you sweat in it. The linen is stiff with dried sweat and body oils. It scratches against your skin. Over the shift, you wear a tunic, wool, thick, coarse. The wool is not cleaned well. You can still smell the lanolin, the sheep smell. It is not unpleasant exactly, just strong, animal. The tunic is long. It reaches to your knees. The sleeves are tight. The wool pulls across your shoulders when you move. It is not comfortable, but comfort is not the point. Warmth is the point, and the wool does keep you warm when it is dry. But it is not dry. Nothing is dry in medieval London. The air is damp, always damp. The moisture from the river, from the rain, from the breath of 50,000 people. It hangs in the air. It soaks into everything. Your tunic is damp. The wool is heavy with moisture. It pulls on your shoulders, weighs you down. When you move, the damp wool rubs against your skin, cold, clammy. Over the tunic, you wear a cloak, more wool, thicker. The cloak is supposed to keep out the rain, but the wool is saturated. It cannot absorb any more water. When it rains, the water just runs off the cloak and down your back, soaking into the tunic underneath. The cloak has a hood, you pull it up. The wet wool presses against your head, against your hair. Your hair is greasy. You have not washed it in months. No one washes their hair. The grease protects it, keeps it from breaking, or so people say. The hood smells like wet sheep and old sweat and the smoke from 1,000 fires. You breathe through your mouth. On your legs, you wear hose, wool stockings that tie to your braids. The hose are wet from the mud, from the chamber pot that was dumped on you. The wet wool clings to your legs, chafes. With every step, the fabric rubs against your skin. Your thighs are raw, red. The skin is starting to break down. On your feet, the thin leather shoes are falling apart. The stitching is coming loose. The soles are worn through in places. You can feel the cobblestones through the holes, every sharp edge, every uneven surface. Your feet hurt, constantly. You shift the weight of the cloak on your shoulders. It does not help. The wet wool is just heavy. There is no comfortable way to wear it. But you cannot take it off. Because underneath the dampness, underneath the weight, the clothes are keeping you warm. Barely, just enough to keep you alive. So you keep walking, hunched under the weight of wet wool, feeling the chafe of damp fabric against raw skin, smelling the sheep and the sweat and the smoke. This is what you wear every day for months, until the clothes fall apart. Then you get new clothes, or more likely someone else's old clothes, and you start the cycle again. The houses. The buildings on either side of the street are packed tightly together. There is no space between them, no gaps. Every inch of ground is used. The houses are narrow, very narrow, maybe 10 feet wide, but they are tall, 3 stories, sometimes 4. Each story juts out over the one below. The upper floors lean over the street. In some places, the buildings on opposite sides almost touch. You could reach out a window and hand something to your neighbor across the street. This is intentional. Property taxes are based on the ground floor footprint, so builders make the ground floor as small as possible. Then they add floors above, each one larger than the last. It is efficient, but it makes the streets dark, cramped. The buildings block the sun, block the air. The walls are wattle and daub, woven sticks covered with a mixture of mud, straw, and dung. The daub is crumbling in places. You can see the wattle underneath. The sticks are dark, rotten in places. In some buildings, the walls are sagging, bulging outward. The whole structure looks like it might collapse. Maybe it will. Buildings collapse all the time in medieval London. The foundations are poor. The construction is shoddy. A heavy rain, a strong wind, and a building can just fall, sometimes onto the street, sometimes onto the building next to it, starting a chain reaction of collapse. But people keep living in them, because where else would they go? The windows are small, very small, just holes in the wall. Some are covered with wooden shutters, some are covered with oiled cloth. Oiled cloth is cheaper than glass. It lets in some light, not much, and it does nothing to keep out the cold. Most of the windows are open, even in autumn, even with the cold, because the houses are full of smoke. Every house has a fire for cooking, for heat. But most houses do not have chimneys. The smoke just rises, fills the house. Eventually, it finds its way out through the windows, through the gaps in the roof. But it takes time, so the houses are always smoky. You can see the smoke drifting out of windows, thin, gray. It adds to the haze that hangs over the street. The doors are wooden, thick planks held together with iron bands. Most doors are closed, locked. People do not trust their neighbors. Theft is common. Murder is common, so you lock your door. You bar it from the inside, and you hope. You pass a house where the door is open, just a crack. You glance inside. It is dark. The only light comes from a small fire in the center of the room. The floor is dirt, packed earth. There is a table, a bench, a pile of straw in the corner. That is where people sleep. The smell that comes from the open door is overwhelming. Smoke, sweat, urine, something cooking, something rotten, all mixed together. You move on quickly. The first alley. The street narrows even more. You reach an alley. It is barely wide enough for one person. The buildings on either side press in. The walls are almost touching above your head. The alley is dark, almost completely dark. The buildings block all light. You can barely see where you are stepping. But you can feel it. The ground under your feet is soft, squishy. You do not want to think about what you are walking through. The smell in the alley is unbelievable. It is like all the waste from all the houses has been poured here. And it has. Because this is where people dump their chamber pots when they do not want to go all the way to the street. The alley is a river of filth, slow-moving, thick. It squelches under your feet. The sound is wet, obscene. With every step, the filth oozes up around your shoes. You can feel it soaking through the leather, reaching your feet. Your feet are already wet, but this is different. This is not rain. This is waste. Human waste, animal waste, rotting garbage. It is warm body temperature because some of it is fresh. You walk quickly, trying not to breathe, trying not to think about what is on your feet, what is soaking into your shoes, into your hose, touching your skin. The alley is long, longer than it looked. The darkness is complete. You cannot see anything. You just walk, carefully, trying not to slip. Because if you fall here, if you put your hands down in this filth, you are not sure you could stand it. Finally, you see light ahead. The alley is opening up. You walk faster. Your feet squelch with every step. The sound echoes off the close walls. You emerge into another street. It is barely brighter than the alley, but at least there is some light, some air. You look down at your feet. Your shoes are black, covered, dripping. The leather is soaked through. Your hose are wet to the knee. The fabric is dark, stained. You want to clean them, but there is nowhere to clean them. No water, no cloth. So you just stand there, dripping, stinking, trying not to think about the diseases that are probably seeping into your skin through the cuts and sores on your feet. This is medieval London, and you have been here for less than an hour. The people in the street. The street is crowded. People are everywhere, walking, standing, sitting. They fill every available space. The air is thick with their presence, with their smell. Most people look like you, poor, dirty, wearing rough wool, layered, damp. Their faces are pale, thin, underfed, eyes sunken, cheekbones sharp. A man shuffles past you. He is old, maybe 40, which is old in 1312. His back is bent. His hands are gnarled with arthritis. He is coughing, a wet, rattling cough. He spits. The phlegm lands on the cobblestones. It is dark, bloody. He does not cover his mouth. No one covers their mouth. The idea of contagion exists, but only vaguely. People know that sickness spreads, but they do not understand how, so they do not take precautions. They just cough and spit and wipe their noses on their sleeves. A woman sits against a wall. She is nursing a baby. Her breast is exposed. The skin is pale, mottled. The baby suckles weakly. The woman's eyes are closed. She might be asleep or just exhausted. The baby does not look healthy. Its skin is gray. Its limbs are thin. It might not survive the winter. Most babies do not. 1 in 3 children dies before the age of 5. Everyone knows this, accepts it. It is just the way things are. A group of children runs past you. They are playing, chasing each other, laughing. Their laughter is high, shrill, almost manic. They are barefoot. Their feet are black with dirt, covered in sores. They do not seem to notice or care. One of the children bumps into you. He does not apologize, just keeps running. His hair is matted, tangled. You can see things moving in his hair. Lice. They are visible even from a distance. Small, dark, crawling. Everyone has lice. It is accepted. Normal. People pick them out of each other's hair, crush them between their fingernails. The small pop, the tiny smear of blood. It is a daily ritual, like breathing. You reach up, touch your own hair. It is greasy, dirty. You feel something move, a tickle, a louse. You do not bother trying to catch it. There will be more. There are always more. A man pushes a cart past you. The cart is full of barrels. The barrels slosh with liquid, ale probably, or water. Though the water in medieval London is not really water, it is brown, cloudy, it smells, but people drink it anyway, because what else is there? The man pushing the cart is sweating, even in the cold. The sweat runs down his face, drips off his chin. His tunic is soaked, dark with moisture. He smells like old beer and body odor and something sour. He does not look at you, does not acknowledge you. He just pushes his cart, grunting with effort. The wheels creak. The axles need grease, but grease is expensive, so the wheels just creak. You step aside to let him pass. Your back presses against the wall of a building. The plaster is damp, cold. It soaks through your cloak, through your tunic, touching your skin. You push off the wall, keep walking, because standing still is worse. At least when you are moving, you have a purpose, a direction. The street curves, narrows, opens up again. You are deeper into the city now, closer to the river. You can smell it, the Thames. Even over all the other smells, you can smell the river. It is a thick smell, organic, rotten, the smell of decay, of waste, of death. You are heading toward it, toward the river, because that is where the cheap lodgings are, where you might find work, where you might survive another day. The Thames. You reach the river, finally. After walking through narrow streets and dark alleys and piles of filth, you reach the Thames. It is not what you expected, if you expected anything. The Thames in 1312 is not a river, not really. It is a slow-moving mass of waste, brown, thick, almost solid in places. The surface of the water is covered with things. Dead animals, rats, cats, dogs, bloated, floating, bobbing gently with the current. There are pieces of wood, broken barrels, fragments of cloth, vegetable scraps, and human waste. So much human waste. Every privy in London drains into the Thames, every gutter, every ditch. 50,000 people all using the river as a toilet. The waste floats on the surface, forms islands, dark, greasy. The smell is beyond description. You stand on the bank. The shore is mud, thick, black, slick. It is mixed with sewage, with rotting organic matter, with things you cannot identify and do not want to. The mud extends out into the river. When the tide is low, and the tide is low now, the mud flats are exposed. They stretch for yards, covered with waste, with debris, with the corpses of animals. People are walking on the mud flats. Scavengers looking for things, anything of value, a piece of metal, a coin, a lost tool. They wade through the filth, up to their knees, up to their waists. It does not seem to bother them. One man bends down, picks something out of the mud, examines it, tosses it aside, keeps looking. His hands are black, his arms are black. He is covered in the filth of the Thames, but he keeps looking because he might find something, something he can sell, something he can eat. The river moves slowly, sluggishly. The current is weak. The water does not really flow, it just sits, stagnant, rotting, breeding disease. You can see eels. They writhe in the shallow water, fat, sleek. They feed on the waste, on the dead things. They thrive here, and people catch them, eat them, because eels are cheap, and you need to eat. A boat passes, a small boat, rowed by one man. He is ferrying passengers across the river. The passengers sit in the boat, trying not to touch the water, trying not to look at what floats past them. The boatman does not seem to care. He rows, steady, mechanical. He has done this 1,000 times. The boat's wake disturbs the surface. Something bobs up, a dead pig. Its belly is swollen, distended. The skin is mottled, green, black. It floats for a moment, then sinks again. You turn away from the river. The smell is too much. Even for medieval London, the river is too much. But you cannot go far, because the cheap lodgings are here, by the river, where the smell is worst, where the disease is worst, where the poorest people live. You need to find a place to sleep, so you turn back to the streets, back to the narrow alleys, back to the filth. Finding lodging. You ask a man where you can find a room. He points, grunts, does not speak. His mouth is full of rotten teeth, black, broken. He smells like ale and decay. You follow his direction, down another alley, this one even narrower than the last. The buildings lean so far over that they touch. The alley is a tunnel, dark, close. You find the lodging house. It is easy to spot because people are sitting outside, leaning against the wall. They have nowhere else to go, no money for a room, so they sit, waiting. For what, you do not know. The door is open. You step inside. The smell hits you immediately. It is worse than the street, worse than the alley. It is the smell of too many people in too small a space. The smell of bodies that have not been washed, of clothes that have not been changed, of chamber pots that have not been emptied. The room is dark. There is one small window. It lets in almost no light. A fire burns in the center of the room. The smoke rises, fills the space. There is no chimney. The smoke just drifts, stings your eyes, makes them water. A woman appears. She is the landlady. She is large, heavy. Her face is red, sweaty. She wipes her hands on her apron. The apron is filthy, stained with grease and food and things you cannot identify. She looks you up and down, evaluating, calculating, can you pay? You nod. You have a few coins, not many, but enough for a night, maybe two. She names a price. It is high, but you have no choice. You pay. She takes the coins, bites one, testing it. Satisfied, she points to a ladder. The ladder leads up to the second floor. You climb. The ladder is rough, splintered. It creaks under your weight. You are not sure it will hold, but it does. The second floor is one large room. It is full of people. They lie on the floor on piles of straw pressed together. There is no space between them, no privacy, just bodies breathing, snoring, coughing. The smell here is even worse. It is a wall of odor, thick, physical. You can taste it: sweat, urine, feces, vomit, sickness, death. You find a space, a small gap between two bodies. You squeeze in. The straw beneath you is damp, soft. It squelches as you lie down. You do not want to know why it is damp. The person next to you shifts, rolls over. Their face is inches from yours. You can feel their breath. Hot, sour. It smells like rot, like disease. They cough, a wet, rattling cough. Phlegm sprays. You feel droplets on your face. You do not wipe them away. What would be the point? Everything is filthy: your face, your hands, the air you breathe. A few droplets of someone else's phlegm make no difference. You lie there on your back, staring up at the ceiling. The ceiling is low, dark. You can see the beams. They are sagging, bowing under the weight of the floor above. You wonder if the building will collapse. It feels like it might. The whole structure creaks, groans, settles. Every few minutes there is a sound, a crack, a pop, the building shifting. But it does not collapse. Not tonight, so you lie there and you try to sleep. Sleep does not come easily, because the room is full of noise, people snoring, coughing, talking in their sleep, groaning, farting. The sounds are constant, overlapping. There is no silence. And the smell is inescapable. It fills your nose, your mouth, your lungs. You breathe it in with every breath. It coats your throat, sits in your stomach, makes you nauseous. But you are exhausted, bone-tired. So eventually, despite the noise and the smell and the discomfort, you drift. Not quite sleep, just a kind of gray unconsciousness. Your mind shutting down, protecting itself. You lie there in the dark, in the filth, surrounded by strangers in medieval London. And this is where you will spend the night, every night, for as long as you can afford it, or until you die, whichever comes first. The night. The night is long, so long. Time moves differently here. In the dark, in the filth, minutes feel like hours. You drift in and out of consciousness, never fully asleep, never fully awake, just existing in a gray space between. Every time you start to drift deeper, something wakes you. A sound, a movement, the person next to you kicks. Their foot connects with your leg. Hard, you jerk awake, your heart pounding. You lie still, waiting, listening, the person settles, the kicking stops. You close your eyes again, try to drift. But now you are aware of something else. An itch on your leg, you scratch. The itch moves to your thigh. You scratch again, it moves to your waist. Fleas, of course. The straw is full of them. They are biting, feeding. You can feel them, tiny pinpricks. Sharp, itchy, you scratch, but there are too many, you cannot keep up. The person on your other side is coughing. The cough is deep, wet. It goes on and on. They cough until they gag. You hear them spit. The sound is thick, viscous. You do not turn to look. You do not want to know what they spit up. The coughing finally stops. The person settles, breathes, a rattling, labored breathing. They might have consumption, tuberculosis. It is common, deadly, and contagious. You are lying inches away from them, breathing the same air. There is nothing you can do, nowhere else to go, so you just lie there and hope you do not catch it. Another sound, somewhere in the room, a baby crying, thin, weak. It cries for a long time, no one comforts it. Eventually it stops. Either it fell asleep, or it died. You do not know, you do not want to know. You shift position, the straw beneath you rustles, damp, cold. It has soaked through your clothes, your back is wet, your legs are wet, everything is damp. You are cold, so cold. You pull your cloak tighter, but it is damp too, heavy. It does not warm you, it just lies on top of you like a wet blanket, cold, suffocating. Your feet are still wet from walking through the streets, through the alley, through the filth. The dampness has spread up your legs, into your clothes. Your hose are soaked, stuck to your skin. The wet wool chafes, rubs. You can feel the raw patches on your thighs, burning. You want to take off the wet clothes, but you cannot, because underneath you would be even colder. The damp wool, as miserable as it is still providing some insulation, some barrier against the cold. So you leave the clothes on and you lie there, cold, wet, itchy, surrounded by sick people breathing foul air in the dark. This is sleep in medieval London. This is rest. This is the best you can hope for. Hours pass, or maybe minutes, you cannot tell. Time is meaningless here. There is only the dark, the cold, the discomfort. At some point you drift again. Deeper this time, not real sleep, but something close. Your mind shuts down, stops processing. You are just a body, lying in filth, existing. You dream fractured, disturbing dreams. You are walking through streets, endless streets covered in filth. You are sinking. The filth is rising up to your knees, your waist, your chest. You cannot breathe. You are drowning, drowning in filth. You wake with a start, gasping, your heart racing. For a moment you do not know where you are, then it comes back. The lodging house, the second floor, the bodies pressed against you. You lie still, breathing, trying to calm down. It was just a dream, just a dream. But the reality is not much better. You close your eyes, try to drift again, but sleep does not come. You are too aware now, too awake, so you just lie there, waiting for dawn, for light, for the night to end. Morning in the lodging house. Eventually, the darkness begins to thin. Not much, just a slight lightening. The window, small as it is, begins to glow, faintly. Gray light seeps in. Dawn finally. Around you, people begin to stir. Slowly, reluctantly, they cough, groan, shift positions. The room comes alive with small sounds, bodies moving, straw rustling, phlegm being cleared from throats. You sit up, your back aches, your legs are stiff, every joint protests. The damp has settled into your bones, you feel ancient, broken. You look around. In the dim light, you can see the room more clearly. It is worse than you imagined. The floor is covered with straw, but the straw is old, rotten, mixed with filth. There are stains, dark patches. You do not look too closely. The people around you are waking. They look terrible, pale, gaunt, eyes sunken, skin gray. Some are coughing, that deep, wet cough that never seems to stop. Others are just lying there, staring at the ceiling, no expression on their faces. You wonder how many of them will be dead by next week. How many will succumb to disease, to starvation, to the cold. It is impossible to know, but some of them will. Statistics guarantee it. You stand. Your legs are weak, unsteady. You have to hold onto the wall for a moment, waiting for the dizziness to pass. The wall is damp, slimy. You pull your hand away, wipe it on your cloak. Not that it helps, your cloak is just as filthy. You make your way to the ladder. Other people are already climbing down, moving slowly, carefully. The ladder creaks with each step. You wait your turn, then you climb down. Your feet find the rungs. Your hands grip the rough wood. Splinters dig into your palms. You ignore them. At the bottom, the landlady is already moving. She is stirring a pot over the fire. The pot is large, iron, black with soot. Inside, something is cooking. It smells vaguely of oats and something else, something rancid. Porridge, she is making porridge for the lodgers who can pay. For an extra coin, you can have a bowl. You do not have an extra coin, so you do not ask. You just stand there, watching. Your stomach growls. You are so hungry. You have not eaten since yesterday. And even then, it was not much. A piece of stale bread, some cheese that was more mold than cheese. But you cannot afford the porridge, so you ignore your hunger, push it down. You are good at that. You have had practice. You make your way to the door, step outside. The air hits you. Cold, damp, but fresher than inside. You breathe deeply. The air still smells, smoke, waste, the river. But it is better than the air inside. Anything is better than the air inside. You stand there for a moment, on the street. The sky is gray, heavy clouds. It might rain or it might snow. It is hard to tell. The temperature is right on the edge, cold enough to freeze, warm enough to melt. The worst kind of weather. The kind that soaks everything, makes everything damp, makes everything miserable. You pull your cloak tighter, not that it helps. The cloak is still damp from yesterday. It has not dried overnight. It will not dry today. It will just stay damp until it rots, until it falls apart. You start walking, because what else is there to do? You need to find work, find food, find a way to survive another day. So you walk back into the streets, back into the filth, back into medieval London. The morning streets. The streets are already busy. Even this early, people are everywhere, moving, working, trying to survive. The vendors are out, calling their wares. A woman sells pies, meat pies. She holds them in a basket. The pies are small, brown, they smell good. Your stomach twists with hunger, but you do not have money for a pie. You walk past. The woman does not even look at you. She is focused on the people who might buy, the people with coins. You are invisible to her. A man is selling water. He carries 2 buckets on a yoke across his shoulders. The buckets slosh as he walks. The water is brown, murky. It comes from the Thames, or from a well that is fed by the Thames. It does not matter. It is all contaminated. But people buy it because they need water for cooking, for drinking. They do not have a choice, so they buy the brown water, and they hope they do not get sick. Another vendor is selling coal, small lumps in a sack. Coal is expensive, but it burns hotter than wood, lasts longer. Some people can afford it. You are not one of them. You keep walking. The street is slick with mud and waste. You walk carefully, trying not to slip, trying not to step in anything worse than mud. It is a losing battle. Everything is worse than mud. You pass a butcher's stall. The butcher is cutting meat. He works on a wooden block. The block is stained, dark with old blood. Fresh blood runs down the sides, pools on the ground, mixes with the mud. The meat is hanging, whole carcasses, sheep, pigs. They are not fresh. The flesh is dark, starting to spoil. The butcher does not care. He cuts, weighs, wraps the meat in cloth, hands it to customers. The smell of the meat is strong, metallic, slightly sweet. The smell of blood and fat and decay. Flies buzz around the carcasses, thick, black. They land, lay eggs. The butcher swats at them, but there are too many. You watch a customer buy a piece of meat. The butcher cuts a chunk, does not trim the spoiled parts, just cuts, wraps, takes the money. The customer does not complain. Complaining would not help. This is the meat available. You buy it or you go without. You move on. Your stomach is growling constantly now. The smell of the meat, spoiled as it is, makes you hungry, desperately hungry. You have not eaten in almost a day. Your body is starting to consume itself. You can feel it, the weakness, the shakiness. But there is no food for you. Not yet. Not until you find work. Not until you earn money. So you keep walking, ignoring the hunger, ignoring the weakness, focusing on the next step, and the next, and the next. The well. You reach a well. It is in a small square, open to the sky. The well is stone, old, worn smooth by countless hands. People are gathered around it, waiting their turn. They have buckets, jugs. They are drawing water. The water comes up brown, cloudy. It sits in the buckets, murky, sediment settling to the bottom. No one seems concerned. This is the water. This is what is available. You drink it or you die of thirst. You do not have a bucket or a jug, so you cannot draw water. You just stand there, watching. Your throat is dry. You are thirsty, so thirsty. Your mouth feels like sand. Your tongue is thick. A woman draws water. She drinks directly from the bucket, tilts it back, swallows. Water runs down her chin, drips onto her dress. She does not care. She drinks until the bucket is half empty. Then she wipes her mouth with her hand and walks away. You watch her go. Your throat aches with thirst, but there is nothing you can do. You do not have a container. You cannot draw water, so you move on, hoping you will find something, somewhere, a puddle, a rain barrel, anything. This is life in medieval London, surrounded by water. The Thames is right there, full of water, but you cannot drink it, not directly. It would kill you, probably, so you suffer thirst, in a city built on a river. The irony is not lost on you, but irony does not quench thirst, so you keep walking, your throat burning, your lips cracking, your body crying out for water. Finding work. You need to find work, any work, because without money you cannot eat, you cannot sleep indoors, you will die. It is that simple. You ask around. Where can you find work? People shrug, point, grunt. No one is particularly helpful. Everyone is too focused on their own survival. But eventually you find someone who needs help. A man loading barrels onto a cart. He needs someone to lift, to carry. It is hard work, back-breaking work, but it pays. A few coins, enough for food, maybe enough for another night in the lodging house. You agree. The man nods, does not smile, just points to a barrel. You lift. The barrel is heavy, full of something. Ale maybe, or salted fish. It does not matter, it is heavy. You carry it to the cart. Your back strains, your legs shake, but you do not drop it. You set the barrel down, carefully. The man grunts, approval maybe, or just acknowledgement, it is hard to tell. You go back, lift another barrel, carry it to the cart. Your muscles are screaming, your back is on fire, but you keep going, because you need the money, you need to eat. You work for hours, lifting, carrying, over and over. The barrels are all heavy, some heavier than others. Your hands blister. The rough wood of the barrels rubs your palms raw, tears the skin. Blood mixes with sweat, makes your grip slippery. But you do not stop. You cannot stop. You work until all the barrels are loaded, until the cart is full, until the man is satisfied. He pays you a few small coins. You take them. They are warm from his hand, slick with his sweat. You do not care. They are money. They are survival. You thank him. He does not respond, just turns away, starts securing the load. You are dismissed, forgotten. You pocket the coins. Your hand shakes from exhaustion, from relief. You have money. You can eat. For today, at least, you can survive. You walk away. Your back aches. Your hands are raw, bleeding, but you have money, and for now that is enough. Buying food. You have coins now, not many, but enough. Your first priority is food. You have not eaten in almost a day. Your stomach is cramping. Your hands are shaking. You need to eat. You make your way through the streets, looking for food, any food. The vendors are still calling, selling their wares, but everything costs money, and you do not have much. You find a woman selling bread. The bread is dark, dense, made from rye flour mixed with other things, peas, beans, whatever grain was cheapest. The bread is not fresh. It was baked yesterday, maybe the day before. It is hard, stale, but it is food. You ask the price. She tells you. You count your coins. You can afford one small loaf. You hand over the money. She gives you the bread, does not smile, does not thank you, just takes your coins and turns to the next customer. You hold the bread. It is heavy in your hands, dense. You can feel how hard it is through the cloth wrapping. You unwrap it. The bread is dark brown, almost black. The crust is thick, hard as wood. You tap it with your knuckle. It makes a sound, a hollow thunk. You try to bite it. Your teeth barely make a dent. The bread is too hard. You try again, biting harder. Your jaw aches with the effort. Finally, a small piece breaks off. You chew, and chew, and chew. The bread is dry, gritty. You can feel small stones in it, fragments of the millstone that ground the grain. You chew carefully, trying not to break a tooth. Broken teeth are common. Everyone has at least a few. Teeth crack on the stones in the bread, on the hard crust, on bones in the meat. You keep chewing. The bread slowly softens in your mouth, mixing with saliva, becoming a paste. It tastes slightly sour, slightly bitter, not pleasant, but not terrible, just bland and dry, so dry. You try to swallow. It sticks in your throat. You need water, desperately. Your throat is already dry from thirst. The bread makes it worse. You look around. Where can you find water? The well is far. You do not have a container anyway, but you need something. You need liquid. You see a man selling ale. Weak ale, small beer. It is what everyone drinks, safer than water. The brewing process kills some of the disease, not all, but some. So people drink ale morning, noon, night. Even children drink ale, watered down, but still ale. You approach the man, ask the price. He names it. You count your remaining coins. You can afford a small cup. You pay. He fills a wooden cup from his barrel, hands it to you. The ale is brown, murky, things float in it. You do not look too closely, you just drink. The ale is sour, flat. It barely tastes like anything, but it is wet. That is all that matters. You drink it down. The liquid washes the bread paste from your throat, settles in your stomach, warm, heavy. You feel slightly better, not good, but better. You hand the cup back. The man takes it, wipes it on his sleeve, sets it down for the next customer. No washing, no rinsing, just a quick wipe and it is ready to use again. You take another bite of bread, chew, drink the last of your ale, repeat. Slowly you consume the loaf. It takes time. Your jaw aches from chewing, but you eat it all, every crumb, because you do not know when you will eat again. When you are finished, your stomach is full, uncomfortably full. The bread sits heavy, like a stone, but you are not hungry anymore for now. That is something. You lick your fingers, getting every last bit of bread, every grain. Nothing is wasted. Nothing can be wasted. Your coins are almost gone. A few remain, enough for tonight's lodging, maybe. If the landlady does not raise the price, but nothing more. You will need to find more work tomorrow, more money, or you will starve. This is the cycle. Work, eat, sleep, repeat, every day for as long as you can until you cannot anymore. The public latrine. The bread and ale are working through your system. You need to relieve yourself, urgently. You look around. Where do you go? There are no public facilities, not really. Most people just use the street. Find an alley, a corner, squat. Do what needs to be done. No privacy, no dignity, just necessity. But there are a few public latrines, shared privies. You find one. It is a small wooden structure built over a ditch. The ditch drains into the Thames. Eventually, the structure is rickety. The wood is rotten. It sways when you approach. There is no door, just an opening. You step inside. The smell hits you like a wall. It is overwhelming, eye-watering, the smell of human waste. Concentrated, powerful, you gag. Your eyes water, but you have no choice. The floor is wooden planks. They are slick, wet, covered in filth. You step carefully, trying not to slip, trying not to think about what you are stepping in. There is a bench along one wall. The bench has holes cut in it. Several holes for multiple people. This is not a private space. People sit side by side, doing their business, talking. It is communal, normal. Right now you are alone. That is something. You position yourself over one of the holes. The hole is dark. You cannot see the bottom. You do not want to. You relieve yourself. The sound echoes in the small space. Amplified, you try not to listen. Try not to breathe. The smell is unbearable. When you are finished, there is nothing to clean yourself with. No cloth, no water. You just pull your hose back up, adjust your clothing, and leave. Outside, you breathe deeply. Even the street air is better than the air in the latrine. You wipe your hands on your cloak, not that it helps. Everything is filthy. Your hands, your cloak, your hose, everything. But you are relieved. That is what matters. You have taken care of a basic need. Now you can continue. Continue walking. Continue surviving. Continue existing in this city of filth. The market. You wander toward the market. Not to buy, you have no money left, but to see, to observe, to pass time, because what else is there to do? The market is crowded. People are everywhere. Vendors, customers, thieves, beggars. They fill the narrow lanes between the stalls, press against each other. The noise is overwhelming. Everyone shouting, competing to be heard. The stalls are simple: wooden tables, cloth awnings, the goods are spread out: vegetables, meat, fish, cloth, tools, everything for sale, everything negotiable. You walk slowly through the crowd. People push past you, elbow you, step on your feet. No one apologizes. No one acknowledges you. You are just another body in the crowd. You pass a fishmonger. His stall is piled with fish. The fish are not fresh. Their eyes are cloudy. Their skin is dull. They smell strong, pungent, the smell of fish starting to rot, but people are buying them because fish is cheap, and you need to eat. Next to the fish, a woman sells eels. Live eels. They writhe in a barrel of murky water, Thames water. The woman reaches in, grabs an eel, holds it up. It writhes, twists, tries to escape. She calls out the price. A customer nods. She kills the eel with a knife, quick, efficient, wraps it, hands it over, takes the money. You move on, a butcher's stall, more meat, hanging, dripping. Blood pools on the ground, mixes with the mud. People walk through it, track it around the market. Red footprints fade to brown. A vegetable seller has turnips, onions, cabbages. The vegetables are small, withered. It has been a bad growing season. Everything is expensive. People argue, bargain, try to get a better price. The seller is firm. These are the prices. Take it or leave it. You watch a transaction. A woman buys 3 turnips. The seller weighs them, uses a small scale. Stone weights on one side, turnips on the other. The scale balances. The woman pays, takes her turnips, walks away. The seller immediately turns to the next customer. No rest, no pause, just constant transactions. Money changing hands, goods moving. The market never stops. You continue walking. The crowd presses in. You are jostled, pushed. Someone's elbow catches you in the ribs. Hard, you stumble, catch yourself, keep moving. The smell of the market is complex. Layered, rotting fish, fresh blood, unwashed bodies, smoke from cooking fires, spilled ale, animal dung. It all blends together, a thick miasma that hangs over everything. You breathe through your mouth. It does not help much. You can taste the air, thick, greasy. It coats your tongue, sits in your throat. You pass a stall selling used clothes. The clothes are piled high. Tunics, cloaks, hose, all worn, all dirty, all from people who do not need them anymore. People who died, or people who sold everything they had to buy food. A man is rifling through the pile, looking for something, anything that might fit. That might be warmer than what he is wearing. He holds up a cloak, examines it. The fabric is torn, stained, but it is thick. It might be warm. He asks the price. The seller names it, too high. The man puts the cloak back, keeps looking. You understand. You are one bad week away from selling your own clothes, one missed job, one illness, and you would be here, selling the cloak off your back, trying to get enough money for bread. This is medieval London. This is poverty. This is survival, precarious, desperate, always one step away from disaster. The sick. As you walk through the market, you start to notice them. The sick people, they are everywhere. Once you start looking, you cannot stop seeing them. A man sits against a wall. His face is covered in sores, open, weeping, pus runs down his cheeks. He is begging, holding out a bowl. People walk past. No one stops. No one gives. His sores mark him. Leper, unclean, contagious. He might not be a leper. He might just have some other skin disease. Scrofula, impetigo, something else. But it does not matter. Sores mean sickness. Sickness means death. People avoid him. A woman coughs as she walks past you. The cough is wet, productive. She spits. The phlegm is dark, streaked with blood, consumption, tuberculosis. It is a death sentence. Slow, painful, she knows it. You can see it in her eyes, the acceptance, the resignation. She keeps walking. coughing, spitting blood, because what else can she do? There is no cure, no treatment, you just cough until you die, and you hope it happens quickly. A child sits in the mud. The child's belly is swollen, distended. The limbs are thin, stick-like. This is not pregnancy. This is disease, worms, parasites. They are eating the child from the inside, consuming nutrients, growing, multiplying. The child stares ahead, eyes empty, no expression, too weak to cry, too weak to move, just sitting, waiting for someone to help or for death, whichever comes first. No one helps, people walk past, glance down, look away. What can they do? Everyone is struggling, everyone is starving, you cannot help everyone, you cannot even help yourself. You walk past the child. You tell yourself there is nothing you can do, and it is true. You have no money, no food, no medicine, nothing to give. But the guilt sits in your stomach, heavy, like the bread. You keep walking, because stopping does not help, staring does not help, you just keep moving. Eyes forward, trying not to see, trying not to think about how easily that could be you, sitting in the mud, belly swollen, waiting to die. The afternoon. The day drags on. The sky remains gray, heavy. The clouds never break. The light never changes, just a constant dim grayness that makes it hard to judge the time. You wander, aimless. You have nowhere to go, nothing to do. Your work is done, your money is spent. You are just filling time, waiting for evening, waiting to go back to the lodging house, waiting to lie down, waiting for another day to end. Your feet hurt. The thin leather shoes provide almost no cushioning. Every step sends pain up through your heels. Your toes are cramped, squeezed into the narrow shoes. Blisters have formed, burst, formed again. The inside of your shoes is damp, sticky, blood and pus mixed with the ever-present mud. You sit on a stone step leading up to a building. The stone is cold, damp, but it is better than standing. You rest, close your eyes just for a moment. The sounds of the city continue around you. Shouts, bells, animals, the constant background noise. You have stopped hearing it as individual sounds. It has become just one continuous drone. White noise, it fills your head, makes thinking difficult. You open your eyes, a dog is sniffing near you. It is thin, ribs showing, patches of fur missing. It looks at you with hopeful eyes, hoping for food, but you have nothing, you shoo it away. It slinks off, tail down, ears back. You stand, your legs are stiff. The brief rest has made them worse. You take a few steps. Limping, the stiffness eases. Slightly, you keep walking. You pass a church, the door is open. Inside it is dark, quiet. You can see candles burning, small flames flickering, shadows dancing on the walls. You step inside. The air is different here, still smoky, still damp, but quieter, calmer. The noise of the street is muffled, distant. The church is small, stone walls, a wooden ceiling. Simple, plain, no decoration, just stone and wood and shadows. A few people are inside, kneeling, praying. Their lips move silently, heads bowed, hands clasped. You stand in the back. You do not pray, you do not know what you would pray for. Food, warmth, escape, it all seems pointless. God does not listen to people like you. Poor, filthy, insignificant. But the quiet is nice, peaceful. For a few minutes you just stand there in the shadows, breathing, existing. Then a priest appears. He looks at you. His face is stern, disapproving. You know what he sees. Your filthy clothes, your matted hair, the smell. You are contaminating his church with your presence. He does not speak, just looks. The message is clear, leave. You leave back into the street, back into the noise. The peace was brief, temporary, but for those few minutes it was something. The light fades. The gray day fades to a grayer evening. The light dims, not suddenly, just gradually. The shadows deepen. The street becomes harder to see. Candles appear in windows, small flames. They do not provide much light, just tiny points in the darkness, but they mark the buildings, give some sense of where you are. You are tired, so tired. The day has been long, hard, your body aches, your feet throb, your back is stiff from carrying barrels. Your hands are raw, blistered. You make your way back to the lodging house. The streets are less crowded now. Most people have gone inside, locked their doors, barred their shutters. The streets at night are dangerous. Thieves, murderers, gangs. They come out when the light fades. You walk quickly, head down, trying not to draw attention, trying to look like you have nothing worth stealing, which is true, you have nothing. But thieves do not always know that until it is too late. You reach the lodging house. The door is still open. People are still sitting outside. They will sit there all night. No money for a room, nowhere else to go. They will lean against the wall, pull their cloaks tight, try to survive the night in the open. You step inside. The landlady is there, same as before, red-faced, sweaty. She looks at you, expecting payment. You hand over your last coins. She counts them, nods, points to the ladder. You climb, your legs are heavy. Each rung is an effort, but you make it, up to the second floor. The room is already full, bodies everywhere, lying on the straw, pressed together. The smell is overwhelming, worse than last night. More people, more sweat, more waste. You find a space, barely big enough. You squeeze in, lie down. The straw is damp, cold. It squelches beneath you. The person next to you is already asleep, snoring, loudly. A rattling, gasping snore. They smell terrible, like death, like decay. You close your eyes, try to ignore it, try to ignore everything. The smell, the sound, the discomfort, the cold, the damp. You are exhausted, surely sleep will come. But it does not right away, because your mind is racing, thinking about tomorrow. How will you find work? How will you earn money? What if you cannot? What if you starve? You push the thoughts away, focus on breathing, slow, steady, in and out. Eventually, the exhaustion wins. Your mind slows, stops racing. You drift, not quite sleep, but close. And the night begins again. The second night. The second night is worse than the first, because now you know what to expect. The discomfort is not a surprise. It is anticipated, dreaded. You lie on the damp straw, your body pressed against strangers. Their body heat should be warming, but it is not, because everyone is cold, everyone is damp. There is no warmth to share. The person on your left shifts. Their elbow digs into your side. You shift away, but there is nowhere to go. The person on your right is there, solid, unyielding. You are trapped, sandwiched, unable to move, unable to get comfortable, unable to escape. The coughing starts. Someone across the room, that deep, wet cough, it goes on and on and on. Minutes pass. The coughing does not stop. You hear them gag, spit. The sound is thick, viscous. Finally, the coughing subsides, but now you are fully awake, alert, listening, waiting for it to start again. It does. A few minutes later, the same person or maybe someone else. It is impossible to tell in the dark. The cough echoes, fills the room, becomes the only thing you can hear. You want to scream, tell them to stop, to go outside, to die somewhere else. But you do not, because what good would it do? They cannot help it. And tomorrow it might be you coughing. You might be the one keeping everyone awake. So you lie there, listening, waiting, trying to breathe through your mouth so you do not smell the decay, so you do not think about the disease hanging in the air, floating, settling into your lungs with every breath. The fleas are worse tonight. They are everywhere, biting, feeding. You scratch, but it does not help. For every flea you kill, there are 10 more, 100 more. You feel them on your legs, your arms, your back, crawling, biting. You scratch until your skin is raw, until you feel blood under your fingernails. But the fleas do not stop. Your clothes are full of them. They live in the seams, in the folds. They lay eggs, the eggs hatch, more fleas, an endless cycle. You cannot escape them, no matter how much you scratch, no matter how much you suffer. You try to lie still, ignore the itching, ignore the bites, focus on something else, anything else. But there is nothing else, just the dark, the cold, the damp, the smell, the sound of people coughing, snoring, shifting, the endless discomfort. Time passes, slowly, so slowly. You drift in and out, never fully asleep, never fully awake, just existing in a gray space, enduring. At some point you hear rats, scratching, scurrying. They are in the walls, in the rafters, maybe even on the floor, among the bodies. You do not move, do not open your eyes, because seeing the rats would make it worse. Better to just lie still. Pretend they are not there, pretend nothing is wrong. But you hear them, their claws on wood. They're squeaking, high-pitched, sharp. They are fighting over something, food probably, some scrap left on the floor. The sounds continue, scratching, squeaking. You wonder if they will come closer, if they will crawl over the bodies, over you, but they stay in the shadows for now. You lie there, listening to the rats, listening to the people, listening to your own breathing, shallow, quick, anxious. This is the night, this is sleep, this is rest in medieval London, and it will be the same tomorrow night, and the night after, and the night after that, for as long as you survive. Dawn again. The darkness begins to fade, again. The window glows faintly, gray light seeps in, another day, another dawn, another chance to survive. You sit up, your body protests, everything hurts more than yesterday. The aches have settled deeper. Into your bones, into your joints, you feel ancient, broken. Around you, people are waking. The same groans, the same coughs, the same slow, reluctant movements. Everyone looks terrible, worse than yesterday. The cumulative effect of days, weeks, months of this life. You stand, your legs wobble, you hold the wall, wait for the dizziness to pass. It does slowly. You make your way to the ladder, climb down. The landlady is there, same as every morning, stirring her pot. The smell is the same, oats, something rancid. You do not have money for porridge, so you do not ask. You step outside. The air is cold, damp. A fine mist hangs in the air, not quite rain, not quite fog, just moisture everywhere, coating everything. You pull your cloak tight. It is still damp, still heavy. It has not dried, it will never dry. Not here, not in this city where the air itself is water. You start walking, because what else is there to do? You need to find work, again. Need to earn money, again. Need to eat, again. The cycle continues, day after day, until you cannot continue anymore. The STRETS in morning mist. The mist makes everything worse. It softens the edges of buildings, makes distances hard to judge. Sounds are muffled, dampened. The city feels smaller, closer, more oppressive. Your breath comes out in clouds, thick, white. It mixes with the mist, becomes part of it. Everyone is breathing out moisture, adding to the damp, making it worse. The cobblestones are slick, slippery, coated with a thin layer of moisture and filth. You walk carefully, slowly, each step deliberate, because falling would be disastrous. Falling would mean putting your hands in the filth, in the waste, in the mud, and there is no way to clean yourself afterward. You pass a man lying in the street. He is not moving. He might be dead or just drunk or sick. It is impossible to tell. People walk around him. No one stops. No one checks. Because what would be the point? If he is dead, he is dead. If he is alive, there is nothing you can do for him. Better to just keep walking. You keep walking. The mist clings to your face, your hair. It condenses on your cloak, adds more weight, more dampness. Your cloak is dripping now. Water runs off the hem, forms a little trail behind you, a wet trail that disappears almost immediately into the general dampness of the street. You need work, but the mist makes everything harder. Vendors are slower to set up. Fewer customers are out. The market will be quiet today, which means less work, less opportunity, less money. But you keep looking, keep walking, keep searching, because what else can you do? Looking for work again. You spend the morning looking, asking, pleading, but there is nothing. No one needs help. Or if they do, they have already found someone. Someone they know, someone they trust, not you, a stranger, an outsider. By midday, you are desperate, hungry, you have not eaten since yesterday morning. Your stomach is cramping, twisting. The pain is sharp, insistent. You think about begging, just sitting with a bowl, asking for charity, but you still have some pride, some dignity, not much, but enough that you cannot bring yourself to beg, not yet. So you keep looking, keep asking. The day wears on. The mist does not lift. If anything, it gets thicker, heavier, visibility drops. You can barely see 20 feet ahead. You are so tired, so hungry, so desperate. You lean against a wall, close your eyes just for a moment, just to rest. When you open them, a man is standing there, looking at you. He is large, heavy, his face is scarred. His clothes are better than yours, cleaner, which means he has money. He asks if you are looking for work. You nod quickly, eagerly, yes, any work, anything. He smiles, but the smile does not reach his eyes. He tells you he needs help, moving goods at the docks. It is hard work, but it pays. He names a price. It is low, very low, but it is something. You agree. What choice do you have? You are starving, you need money, so you agree. He nods, tells you to follow him. You do, through the mist, through narrow streets, toward the river, toward the docks. The docks. The docks are chaos. Ships, boats, barges, all packed together, tied to wooden piers that extend into the Thames. The water here is even more foul than upstream, thick with waste, with debris. The smell is overwhelming. Men are everywhere, loading, unloading, carrying, shouting. The noise is constant, deafening, wood scraping on wood, ropes creaking, men cursing, gulls screaming. The man leads you to a ship, a small merchant vessel. It is loaded with barrels, sacks, crates, all need to be moved, from the ship to the dock, from the dock to carts, from carts to warehouses. He points, tells you to start. You climb onto the ship. The deck is slick, wet. You almost fall, catch yourself on a rope. Your hands burn. The rope is rough, tarred. It sticks to your palms. Tears the blisters that have barely started to heal. You grab a barrel. It is heavy, very heavy. You lift. Your back screams. Your legs shake, but you carry it off the ship, onto the dock, set it down, go back for another. You work for hours, lifting, carrying. Your muscles are on fire, your back feels like it will break. Your hands are bleeding. The rope has torn the skin. Salt from the barrels gets into the wounds, burns, stings, but you do not stop. Because if you stop, you do not get paid. So you keep going. Even though every lift is agony, even though you can barely stand, you keep going. The other men working are the same. Broken, exhausted, but still working, because stopping means starving. One man collapses, just falls, his legs give out. He hits the deck, hard. No one helps him, they just work around him, stepping over him, ignoring him. Eventually he gets up, shaky, pale, goes back to work. You wonder when you will collapse, when your body will give out, but not yet, not today. You keep working. Finally, the ship is empty, the work is done. The man who hired you appears, counts the barrels, the sacks, checks everything. Then he pays. But the amount is wrong. It is less than he promised, much less. You start to protest, to argue, but he cuts you off, tells you to take it or leave it. His hand moves to his belt, where a knife hangs. The message is clear: take the money, and be grateful you are not getting a knife in the ribs. You take the money, say nothing, turn and walk away, your hands shaking, not from fear, from rage, impotent rage, because what can you do? Nothing. You are powerless, alone, in a city that does not care if you live or die. You pocket the coins, count them later, when you are safe, when you are away from the docks, when you are away from men with knives and hard eyes. Evening approaches again. You make your way back through the streets. The mist has lifted slightly, but the sky is still gray, still heavy. It looks like it might rain, properly rain, not just mist, actual rain. You need to buy food. The coins you earned will buy something, not much, but something, enough to keep you alive another day. You find a pie seller. Meat pies, small. The price is reasonable. You buy one. The pie is warm. You can feel the heat through the thin pastry. It feels good in your cold hands. You bite into it. The pastry is greasy, flaky. It crumbles, falls onto your chest. You brush it away. The meat inside is hot. You burn your tongue, but you do not care. You are so hungry. You chew, swallow, take another bite. The meat is mystery meat. You do not ask what it is. Pork maybe, or beef, or rat. It does not matter. It is hot. It is food. You eat it quickly, greedily. Your stomach growls, demands more. But one pie is all you can afford. You need to save the rest of your coins for the lodging house, for tomorrow, for the next crisis. So you lick your fingers, getting every bit of grease, every crumb, and you swallow the last of it. Your stomach is not full, but it is less empty. That will have to do. You buy ale, weak ale, to wash down the pie. The ale is sour, flat, but it is wet. You drink it down, hand the cup back. The seller wipes it on his filthy sleeve, sets it down for the next customer. You burp, taste the pie again. Greasy, salty, not pleasant, but it is food. Calories, energy, survival. You turn, head back to the lodging house. The sky is darkening. Night is coming. And with it the same misery, the same cold, the same damp, the same struggle to sleep. But what choice do you have? This is your life. This is medieval London, and you survive it, day by day, night by night, until you cannot anymore. The rain begins. As you walk, the rain starts. Not heavy, not yet, just a light drizzle, but you know it will get worse. It always gets worse. The rain is cold. It soaks into your cloak immediately. The wool, already damp, cannot absorb anymore. The water just runs off, down your back, down your front, soaking through your tunic, reaching your skin. You pull the hood up. It does nothing. The rain finds its way in, drips down your face, down your neck, cold, relentless. Around you, people are hurrying, trying to get inside, trying to get out of the rain, but you cannot hurry. Your legs are too tired. Your feet hurt too much. You just walk, steady, plodding through the rain. The streets are emptying. Doors are closing. Shutters are being pulled tight. People are locking themselves in, trying to stay dry, trying to stay warm, trying to survive another night. You reach the lodging house. You are soaked, completely soaked. Water drips from your cloak, forms puddles where you stand. The landlady looks at you, wrinkles her nose but says nothing, just holds out her hand for payment. You pay, climb the ladder. Your clothes are heavy, waterlogged. Each step is an effort, but you make it. The second floor is already full, bodies everywhere. You find a space, smaller than last night, barely big enough, but it is all there is. You lie down. The straw beneath you is damp. Your clothes are soaked. Water pools beneath you, soaks into the straw, makes it wetter, makes everything worse. You are so cold, colder than you have ever been. Your teeth chatter. Your whole body shakes. You try to curl up, to conserve heat, But there is no heat to conserve. You are just cold all the way through. The person next to you shifts. Their wet clothes press against yours. More cold, more damp. No comfort, no warmth. Just two cold bodies shivering together, trying to survive. Outside, the rain intensifies. You can hear it pounding on the roof. The roof is thatched, old, rotting, it leaks. You can hear water dripping, splashing. Somewhere in the room, someone curses. The leak has found them. You lie very still, hoping the leak is not above you, hoping you do not get wetter than you already are. Time passes, the rain continues. The cold seeps deeper, into your muscles, your bones, your core. You cannot stop shivering, cannot get warm, cannot escape the cold. This is the worst night yet, and tomorrow will bring another day, another struggle, another desperate search for work, for food, for survival. But for now, you just lie here, in the dark, in the cold, in the damp, shivering, suffering, enduring. Because that is all you can do, endure. The third day. Morning comes, eventually. The rain has stopped, but everything is wet, soaked. The air is thick with moisture, heavy, oppressive. You sit up, you are still damp. Your clothes have not dried, they cling to you. Cold, heavy, uncomfortable, your skin is wrinkled, pale. It has been wet for too long. You stand. Your joints are stiff, every movement hurts. You are developing aches in places you did not know could ache. Your hips, your shoulders, even your jaw, from clenching it against the cold, against the pain. You climb down. The landlady is there, same as always. You do not have money for porridge. You barely have money for tonight's lodging, so you step outside, into the wet morning. The streets are rivers, muddy rivers. The rain has washed filth from the buildings, from the alleys. Everything has flowed into the street. The water is ankle deep in places, brown, thick, filled with things you do not want to identify. You wade through it. Your shoes fill with water, cold, filthy. The leather squelches with every step. You can feel the water soaking through, reaching your feet, mixing with the blood and pus from your blisters. You need to find work. Again, you need money. Again, the cycle never ends, never changes, just the same struggle, day after day, forever. You search all morning, all afternoon, but there is nothing. The rain has disrupted everything. Fewer merchants are out, fewer goods to move, fewer opportunities. By evening, you have earned nothing. You have no money, no food. You are starving, desperate, out of options. You think about begging, you try to resist, but the hunger is too much. The desperation is too great. You find a spot, sit down, hold out your hand. People walk past. No one stops. No one gives. They do not even look at you. You are invisible, insignificant, just another beggar, one of hundreds, one of thousands. Hours pass. You sit, hand out, begging, hoping, praying, but no one helps. No one cares. You are nothing, no one. Finally, as night falls, an old woman stops. She looks at you. Her face is wrinkled, weathered. She has seen hardship. She knows what it is to suffer. She reaches into her pocket, pulls out a coin, drops it in your hand. It is small, almost worthless, but it is something. You clutch it, thank her, your voice cracks. She nods, walks away, disappears into the darkness. You look at the coin. It is enough, just enough, for bread, for water, for one more night in the lodging house, for one more day of survival. You stand. Your legs are weak, shaky, but you walk, find a baker, buy the cheapest bread, eat it quickly, find the lodging house, pay, climb the ladder, find a space, lie down. And you survive. One more night, one more day, in medieval London, where survival is not guaranteed, where every day is a struggle, where every night is a battle against cold and damp and disease. But you survive, for now. And tomorrow you will do it again, and the day after, and the day after, until you cannot anymore. The cycle repeats. Days blur together. One is the same as the next. Wake, search for work, earn a few coins, buy food, sleep, repeat, over and over, forever. Your clothes are falling apart. The fabric is rotting, worn through. The stitching is coming loose. Soon they will disintegrate, and you will need new clothes, but you do not have money for clothes, so you will wear rags and be grateful for them. Your body is breaking down. The blisters on your feet have become infected, red, swollen, painful. Every step is agony, but you cannot stop walking, cannot rest, because resting means not earning, and not earning means starving. You develop a cough. It starts as a tickle, then becomes a persistent annoyance, then a painful, hacking cough that doubles you over. You cough until you see stars, until your ribs ache, until you taste blood. But there is no treatment, no medicine, no rest. You just keep working, keep walking, keep coughing, and hope it goes away, or hope it kills you quickly, one or the other. You lose weight, your face becomes gaunt, hollow, your eyes sink, your cheekbones sharpen, you look like everyone else. Pale, thin, starving, a ghost walking through a city of ghosts. But you survive. Day after day, you find work. You earn coins, you buy food, you pay for lodging, you sleep, you wake, you do it again. This is your life now. This is medieval London. This is survival stripped bare, reduced to its essentials: eat, sleep, work, repeat. There is no joy, no pleasure, no hope, just existence, just the daily struggle to make it to tomorrow, and tomorrow to the next day, and the next, and the next. Until you cannot, until your body gives out, until the disease wins, until the starvation takes you, until the cold finishes you, until medieval London finally claims you, like it claims everyone eventually. The reality. This is what it was like. For most people, most of the time in medieval London, no glory, no romance, no adventure, just filth, hunger, disease, cold, damp, suffering. The city was a meat grinder. People flowed in from the countryside, seeking opportunity, seeking a better life. And the city consumed them, ground them down, spat out their bones. Life expectancy was 30, maybe 35, if you were lucky. Most people died young, from disease, from starvation, from accidents, from the sheer brutality of daily existence. Children died in droves, 1 in 3 before age 5, 1 in 2 before adulthood. Families had many children because they had to, because so many would die. It was expected, accepted, normal. The smell of London could be detected from miles away. The Thames was an open sewer. The streets were cesspools. Disease was rampant: plague, tuberculosis, dysentery, typhoid, cholera. They swept through the city, killing thousands, tens of thousands. But life went on. People adapted. They accepted the filth, the smell, the disease, because what choice did they have? This was the world. This was reality. You survived it or you died. Most died, but some survived. They endured the cold, the hunger, the sickness. They fought every day just to live, just to see one more sunrise, just to survive one more night. And in that survival, in that stubborn refusal to give up, there was a kind of strength, a kind of courage. The courage to face impossible odds, to suffer indignities, to endure pain, and to keep going, day after day, night after night. You would not survive medieval London, not for long, because the city was designed to kill you. The filth would make you sick. The hunger would weaken you. The cold would finish you. Within weeks, maybe months, you would be dead. But now you know, now you understand what it was like, what they endured, what survival meant in a time before clean water, before sanitation, before medicine, before comfort. Now you can appreciate what you have. The clean bed, the warm room, the fresh air, the abundant food, the safety, the security, the simple, miraculous fact that you will probably wake up tomorrow and the day after and live to old age. These things are not guaranteed, they are privileges, gifts, won through centuries of struggle, of progress, of people fighting to make life better, to make survival easier, to make existence bearable. So rest now, in your clean bed, in your warm room, in your safe space. Rest knowing that you are warm, fed, clean, secure. Rest knowing that tomorrow will come, and you will be there to see it. Rest and be grateful for the simple things, the basic things, the things that medieval London could never provide: warmth, comfort, safety, life. Rest now. The night is over, the story is done, and you are safe. You survived not medieval London, but this journey through its filth and suffering, and now you can rest. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel the comfort around you, and sleep, real sleep, safe sleep, clean sleep, the kind of sleep that medieval London never knew. Sleep well and be grateful for everything you have, for everything they did not. Good night.